All right, guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay, and I decided to go ahead and give you a follow-up video on some of my daily drivers. Now, this is the LG G8. This is currently one of my daily drivers. This is my main driver right here, that means when you hear me say that, that means this is the phone number that all of my family members have. I get all my texts and calls predominantly on this phone. And I do have Project Fi. It's actually sitting on my nightstand because I was doing some things last night. And this is my other T-Mobile line. This is my iPhone 10. I've been rocking with this for a long time. I still use an iPhone 10 because I feel like the rate of what I've experienced from Apple is not enough for me to get rid of this phone yet. It still holds really, really good value too. This is the first generation iPhone 10. This is the first, phone that looked like this from Apple, basically. And it's in pristine condition. Obviously, you can see I have an outer box on it. I have a couple of different outer boxes, actually. Here's the other one. This is the Defender, and this is the Pro. So I get to switch it up every now and then. This one is supposed to be the better of the two, but I don't really know that to be true. But what I will say is that my daily drivers are these two phones and the Google Pixel 3, which is my Project Fi line, which is right here. So these are the phones that I use. Now, obviously, the main phone, like I said, is this phone right here. But I definitely keep an iPhone around, and I definitely keep a Google device around. Google Fi is just fantastic for calls. It is just really, really good. No denying that. Some other tech that I use daily is this watch right here. This is kind of just generic off-brand watch that I reviewed. And then I also use my Samsung Gear Fit still. That still works flawlessly. No problems whatsoever. And I have tons of phones that I do swap my SIM card in and out of. The two ZTE devices are totally awesome. These two phones can do some things that some other phones can't do, which is shoot a black and white photo with some parts of it color. And that's just amazing. Now, another case that I definitely use on my iPhone 10 is this one right here. I just recently put it back into this outer box, but this is one of my favorite cases right here from Incipio. It's very rugged style case, really like it. But technology today isn't changing like we think it's changing. It's more along the lines of I'm at a place where I'm just not wowed as much as I should be. And I'm waiting on that wow factor from Apple. I'm waiting on that wow factor from Sony. I'm waiting on that wow factor from Google. Whether it'll happen or not, I don't know. By the way, this video is just being recorded with my Sony Xperia 10. I had it in 21:9 at 4K, but I thought, you know what? I don't know how long I'm going to go. And if you use this phone too long with 4K at 21:9, it'll cut the video off to cool the phone down. And that's an unfortunate thing. So just decided to put it in 1080p at 60 frames per second, regular 16:9 to shoot this video. Now, if you have an iPhone 10, if you have a G8, if you have a Pixel, all of these phones, this is a new phone pretty much, but these two over here definitely can use a refresh. And I don't know what the Pixel 4 is going to look like. We have seen the newer Pixel A or whatever, 3A or whatever it's going to be called. As far as the iPhone goes, we've seen the cutout with the 3 cameras on the back and what that's going to pretty much look like. And are you impressed with that? Is that something that you think you'll be ready to get into, with Apple still keeping the front the same? And I don't foresee Apple changing the front of the device with the cutout on the top, all the proximity sensors and cameras for facial recognition, all that. They're not going to change that because they've invested way too much into it to get it to where it's at. And people have now gotten used to that. There are tons of Android phones like that. This phone has a little cutout at the top too, so it's a matter of choice of what you want to use. But these are my daily drivers, man. And a quick video on my people always ask, what are your daily drivers? At this very moment, this is what I'm rocking with right here. These 3 phones. And again, I do switch my SIM card in and out of phones depending on where I'm going. But lately, it's just been, my main SIM card has just been stuck in the G8 because these cameras are just awesome on the G8, and I really, really enjoy them. So I do switch it in and out. I do have another 4th line over here, but it's not something that I take anywhere. But overall, this watch has been, the reason I've been using this watch is because it's really good on battery. And if you're wondering what watch this is, I'll tell you which one it is. Remember when I reviewed this a long time ago? I mean, it's the battery life on this thing is so good. And there's two bands in here too. I put the sports band on here recently. Well, not recently. It's been months. There's a metal band in here. You get two different bands with it. And, you know, this watch right here has the best battery on any of the smartwatches that I use. So this is one of the smartwatches that I use right now. And then again, my Gear Fit. But mind you, I have tons of other watches. I just choose the ones that have the longest battery life. And that's about where I'm at with the tech that I'm using. This isn't really expensive tech. Like, I'm not, how should I say it? Anyone could have all three of these at the same time if they wanted to. You know, you could finance these phones if you wanted to and have them all. So you can have some kind of rotation. Even if you had just one phone line, there's plenty of people who do that. They'll have just one phone line and then they'll just swap their SIM card out to, you know, wherever they're going or whatever they're doing, whatever they're feeling like that at that moment. But I use these lines and I don't really have a need to keep swapping this SIM card and this SIM card. These two right here they never get switched really. But this one right here, my main SIM card only gets switched a lot because I end up reviewing other phones and I want to give a solid, you know, trustworthy review, a truthful review. So that is why this SIM card might get ejected more than the others to put into other phones. And that's something that you should just keep in mind. But I decided to record this video with the Sony Xperia 10 just because the Sony Xperia 10, you know, I've posted up videos of it and I never really have done I haven't done too many videos with using any kind of artificial lighting. And that is what I'm doing right now. I just have one LED up there that you probably can't see. It's really high up. And that's it. I'm not even doing an overhead shot. I'm doing more of a straight on shot from behind the camera. So you can get a gist of all these devices and things that are on the desk. But, you know, again, the Sony Xperia 10 is a pretty decent device. And let's see how good this focus is. You can see how it focuses on its own. The Sony's cameras are somewhat underrated because they're really, really good. And I can appreciate them. And the only reason I'm not using the Sony full-time right now is because the G8 has just really grabbed me and grabbed my attention, and I'm more focused on the Sony Xperia 1 once that actually decides to drop. So tell me what you think about this quality, you know, being given to you from the Sony Xperia 10. This is the tech that I'm using right now. You know, these are all my phones that I'm technically like really using. There's a phone number in each one. And then they're all ringing from different people. You know, I use them regularly every day. And I've showed you the watch that I use, two of them. And this is pretty much it for now. I'm not going to make a video saying what's in my tech bag and all that kind of stuff. This is like real world. This is what I'm using right now. And I want to share that with you. So how many of you guys have all three of these phones? Or how many of you guys have two of these phones? Or just one of these phones? What are your daily drivers for a smartwatch and a phone? It's me and Jay. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.